Hi, welcome to the Pain in the Rear View podcast. I'm Debbie Murphy, a certified pain management coach, and I'm joined today with my colleague, husband, and medical family therapist, Jim Murphy.
Hi there.
Hi. Well, if you're joining us because you've lived with pain for a while, or maybe you care for someone who's lived with pain for a while, I want you to know I understand. I know what it's like. I lived with pain for a very long time, over 20 years, but I found hope and healing in the most unexpected place, and you can too. So I lived with unmanaged pain until I learned the things that I'm going to be sharing with you on this podcast. These concepts were so transformational for me that people who knew me before and see me now, they call me a walking miracle. So I want to share with you education, hope, and understanding, not quick fixes and miracle cures. Everything I'll share is educational and not medical advice, but it is grounded in evidence-based pain science, as well as my lived experience.
That's right. So today we're going to be starting at the beginning, Debbie's story, how she survived her pain journey and how you can learn to make a difference in your own pain journey. Oh, and by the way, stick around to the end of this podcast to learn about the origin story of the name Pain in the Rear View.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. Thanks, Jim. So I had a car accident almost 30 years ago, I think. I was rear-ended and I injured my pelvis. And what should have been maybe a short-term injury that healed quickly transitioned into 20 plus years of chronic pain. Jim walked with me through all of this. I went from doctor to doctor, treatment to treatment, medication to medication. You may identify with that as well. Because I injured my pelvis, sitting was my biggest issue. I was unable to sit for more than 10 minutes at a time, so I was lying down all the time. I was lying down on the couch most of the day, or if I went anywhere in the car further than 10 minutes, we had a special car that I had to lay down in the back seat, and that's the way I rolled. I was also put on high doses of prescription opioids in order to help with the pain, which was helpful, except that, as you may know, there's a lot of side effects that come along with that. You also may identify with the fact that I had all kinds of emotions going on. So I had a lot of guilt for not being able to either fix my pain or the fact that other people were having to do so much for me. I felt helpless. I should be able to do something to make myself better, but I couldn't. I had a lot of fear. Fear really ruled my life. I was afraid that I couldn't handle the pain anymore. I was afraid that I would not be able to have a life, that this was just all that there was. And to be honest, there was some anger that I wasn't going to be able to live the life that I had hoped. So at this point, I just was living all those years, just really trying hard, trying to find the right treatment that was going to fix me. I wanted my life back.
Yeah, that's right. You really didn't have any hope, did you? And not until you discovered some important truths. And those took a long time to get to. But Tell us about some of those discoveries.
Yeah. So I was going to physical therapy most of the time of that 20 plus years. There was always something that the doctors were helping me with, and I do believe that movement is medicine, and I think that I was able to get a lot of help from that. However, it was not enough. And so one day the physical therapist asked me what I knew about pain. And I said, I don't know what you mean. Pain hurts. And at that point, he began sharing some small doses of information of how pain gets created in our brains and bodies. And I said, no one ever shared that with me before. And as I began continuing to find out more and more information about the science of pain and how it is processed in our bodies, I was just beginning to learn a lot of things that I had never heard of before. It was very intriguing, but I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. So I kept reading and I found some techniques, some principles, and I began putting those into practice. And for the first time in over 20 years, right, Jim? I began making lasting change. I'm going to be sharing on this podcast some of the evidence-based information that did make such a huge difference for me. And it can make a difference for you as well.
So you discovered that learning how our brains and bodies process pain was really a crucial piece of learning how to manage your pain more successfully. But why did that make such a difference?
Yeah, it's a great question, Jim. You wouldn't think that just information would make a difference when all these medical treatments and medications and surgeries had not made a difference. And so it made a difference because we know now that pain is never just physical. I had doctors working with me on only the physical issues of my pain. So we usually think that there's a signal that goes to our brain telling it that there's damage, and it assesses that damage and it sends out the appropriate amount of pain. But scientists now know that pain is much more complex than this. So actually, when a message goes to the brain saying that there's possible danger, many areas of the brain are involved in determining if and how much pain is needed to protect us. So this would include not just potential tissue damage, but it also looks at, say, our memories of past experiences of pain, or maybe just the way that we learned how to deal with pain as we grew up. It also looks at our emotions. How much fear do we have about this situation? It looks at our thoughts. Are we thinking, I just don't think I'm going to be able to handle this? It also looks at expectations. Do we expect that we can manage the symptoms okay? Or do we really feel hopeless? I know I sure did. One more area that it looks at is how much attention are we giving to it? Okay. So I had a situation about a month ago, actually. I was at the zoo with my grandchildren and we were getting ready to do the zip line, of all things. And I was excited about it, but we were standing in line almost to the front of the line, and there were some bees around, and one decided to sting my ankle. And oh my goodness, I don't know if you've had a bee sting in a while. It hurt so bad. And I'm thinking, what do I do? I'm ready to get on this zip line, but my pain is so bad, it just hurt. But I didn't really have much of an option, so I got on the ride and we proceeded to go up on this zip line, up near very beautiful scenery. We went up and then came down very quickly. It was really fun. And we got down to the bottom, to the platform, and before I got off of the chair, I realized, wait a minute, I did not notice the pain from that bee sting the entire time that I was distracted on that zip line. And then once we got down to the platform, it started hurting exactly the same amount. So we do know that how much attention we put to our pain, especially if it's chronic. This was actually had been very recent. And even in that situation, I was shocked. So we do know that how much attention we give to something impacts it. So these areas of the brain, we take all this information, not just the tissue damage, but each of these areas, and it kind of communicates together and decides what action to take, how much pain is necessary. So can you identify with going from doctor to doctor, treatment to treatment, wondering why things are not getting better? Maybe like me, you're hoping that you just haven't found the right treatment yet. That magic pill that's going to fix it all, right? We often feel like victims, just waiting for someone to come in and fix it all for us. But because pain is not only determined by the tissues, but so many other things, medical treatment is often not enough. Now, that doesn't mean, like some people say, well, you're just saying my pain isn't real. No, it just means that you understand pain is much more complex. It was only after I began focusing on these other areas of my brain that real change began to happen. It was more powerful than I ever thought possible. It's empowering because we realize we're not victims, saying to the medical community, "I'm broken, come and fix me." We actually realize we're a vital part of the healing process. And there's a lot of tools that we can learn to use that actually make a big difference in how we manage pain. So please join me on this journey to learn ways that you can take control of your pain and get your life back.
So Debbie, you didn't learn this overnight just from one conversation with your physical therapist. So tell us more about what we can expect as we all journey with you, trying to learn one step at a time about pain and how to manage it more effectively.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. You're right. This is only one video in our journey together to offer you hope. It does take a while to understand and put these tools into practice. It took me a while to make sense of this information. But I'm here to tell you that I am no longer that woman who was trapped with no hope for a future. And you can get there too. So I want you to tune in next week to learn more.
Hey, Debbie, we promised that we would explain the origin of that really cool name, Pain in the Rear View. So tell us more.
Okay, well, we were trying to find a name, and we were talking about the fact that I have always had a pain in the rear, as long as we can think back. And also, I was maybe often a pain in the rear. And so at some point then, we decided, you know what? That used to be the case, but now my pain is in the rear view. So that was the fun way that we were able to come up with this name.
Yeah. But it's not that the pain is gone. It's just, it's not the primary focus.
That's right. It's no longer in control of our lives, right? So if this episode helped you feel even a little bit more understood, please hit the thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to continue this journey with me. Next week, we'll talk about what this new understanding of pain can mean for you. And remember, your pain is real, and there is hope. And my goal is to help you have your pain in the rear view.